You have been going quiet, not because something is wrong, though it has felt that way. You have been posting less, sharing less, showing up less in the lives of people who are used to having access to you. Some part of you has been pulling back from the surface of your life and moving towards something interior that you cannot yet name, and the people around you have noticed, even if neither of you has said a word about it. If that is happening to you right now, hit like. This video found you at exactly the right moment. Here is the thing that no one explains about the inward turn: the quieting, the withdrawal from visibility, the growing preference for the interior over the exterior. It is not a symptom of stagnation. It is not depression wearing the mask of depth. It is not losing ground in your life while the people around you advance. It is the most generative thing that can happen to a human being in a season of real change. And the reason it looks like disappearance from the outside is because, for a period, it is one. Think of a lighthouse, not the beams sweeping the water, the structure itself, the mechanism inside. The light does not go out to find the ships. It does not move toward the darkness. It does not chase the horizon or signal its presence to anything that might respond. It simply maintains its own illumination, turning constant inward in its consistency. And because it refuses to divert its energy outward in search of contact, everything in the water orients toward it. Ships that would never have been found find it. The lighthouse does not pursue, it radiates, and the world rearranges itself accordingly. Most people who begin going inward, who start spending more time with their own thoughts than with other people's noise, who begin finding solitude more nourishing than performance, who start prioritizing the interior renovation over the exterior presentation, interpret this movement as loss, as retreat, as evidence that they are becoming less, shrinking, failing to participate in the world that is continuing without them. They try to stop it. They force themselves back to the surface. They perform engagement they do not feel and are exhausted by the effort, without understanding that the effort is working against the very thing that was beginning to generate. Nietzsche wrote, "One must still have chaos in oneself to be able to give birth to a dancing star." The chaos is not the problem. The chaos, the disorientation, the loss of external certainty, the interior turbulence of a self in the process of reorganizing is the prerequisite. The dancing star does not emerge. Despite the chaos, it emerges because of it. And the chaos requires a container. The inward turn is the container. You cannot hold the chaos while simultaneously performing for an audience. You can only hold it in the specific, protected space of genuine interiority. The space you access when you stop spending your energy on visibility. The disappearance is the work, not a break from the work, not a failure to do the work. The inward turn itself, the going quiet, the becoming less legible to the people who are tracking your external progress, is where the thing that is about to change is being changed. And the outside will only shift after the inside has finished shifting first. Most people never give the inside enough silence to finish, and this is what we will explore next. There are specific ways this inward turn shows up, precise moments that tell you the movement has already begun, whether or not you have consciously chosen it. If any of these sound familiar, understand what they are actually signaling. The first is the reluctance to be seen, not shyness, something more specific than that. A resistance to the idea of showing up in public-facing ways during this period that has nothing to do with fear of judgment. Social events that once felt like opportunities now feel like interruptions. The thought of being observed, performing, engaging, being read by people who don't have the full picture of what is happening inside you produces a kind of fatigue before the event has even happened. This is your interior life protecting the conditions it needs. The renovation happening inside you requires scaffolding that is not compatible with an audience. The reluctance to be seen is the scaffolding going up. The second is losing the desire to document or share your life publicly. The impulse that used to make you reach for your phone to capture a moment, to post it, share it, make it exist in the social record, has gone quiet. Not from sadness, from a shift in who the audience is. The things happening inside you right now are not for public consumption. They are happening in a register that social documentation would flatten and misrepresent. The privacy is not withdrawal, it is the appropriate container for work that requires privacy to complete. The third is no longer needing others to notice the things you do. You accomplish something, finish something, understand something, do something difficult, and you feel it fully, privately, completely. The old reflex to share it, to have it witnessed, to receive the confirmation of someone else's recognition. That reflex is quieter now. not because you have become cold or detached, because the interior audience, your own discernment, your own assessment of what you have done has become sufficient. This is one of the most significant developments possible in a human being. The moment you stop needing the outside world to confirm your inner experience is the moment the inside world becomes genuinely yours. The fourth is spending hours in solitary activity, reading, walking, creating, sitting, without the need to report it afterward. An entire afternoon passes in which something real happened inside you, and you have no impulse to account for it to anyone. No story formed for later. No summary being composed in the background for the benefit of a future audience. The experience was complete in itself, witnessed only by you, fully digested before it became material for performance. This is rare. Most people cannot do this, not because they lack the capacity, but because they have spent so long treating their experience as content for others that they have forgotten how to have it privately. The fact that you are beginning to do this is not isolation. It is the development of a genuine interior life for perhaps the first time. But here's what no one tells you about what comes next. There is a specific fear that lives underneath the inward turn and makes it harder than it needs to be. Not the fear of stagnating, not the fear of missing out, something quieter and more personal than either of those. The fear that if you go quiet, if you stop showing up in the ways people are used to, if you disappear from the surface of your shared life for long enough, you will lose your place. That people will stop thinking of you, that the space you occupied will close while you are turned inward. And when you emerge from the interior work, you will find that the world has reorganized itself around your absence. This fear is real, and it deserves to be acknowledged directly, not talked past. Some things do change when you go quiet. Some people do fall out of your life during the inward season. Some doors close. Some versions of relationships that required your constant visibility to sustain themselves do not survive the period of your withdrawal. But here is what Nietzsche understood about the becoming, and what most people in the middle of it do not yet know from the inside. What is real does not require your constant maintenance to remain real. The relationships worth keeping are the ones that survive your disappearance. The connections that require you to be perpetually visible, perpetually performing, perpetually producing content for the relationship to continue. Those connections were never resting on something solid. They were resting on your output. And your output is not you. What is worth keeping waits. It does not require you to interrupt the interior work to prove that you have not forgotten it. It trusts the silence. It recognizes that the person who emerges from the inward season will be more present, more genuine, more capable of real contact than the person who never went inward at all. Here is something to do right now. Think of one person in your life who has not required explanation for your quietness, who has not pushed against your withdrawal or asked you to account for it, who has simply remained steady without demanding visibility in return. That person is part of what is waiting. The lighthouse did not go dark for them. It just turned inward for a season, and they knew it well enough to keep their bearing without the sweep of the beam. This is when everything begins to shift. You came into this video thinking something was wrong with you, that the quieting, the withdrawal from visibilities, the preference for interior space over exterior performance was evidence of a problem, that you were falling behind, losing ground, failing to show up in the ways that would keep your life intact, that the disappearance was a mistake you should reverse before it cost you more than it already had. It is not a mistake, and the cost is not what you think it is. What you are experiencing is the specific, necessary withdrawal that precedes every genuine shift in a person's external life. Not withdrawal as defeat, withdrawal as preparation. The lighthouse going dark would be a problem. The lighthouse turning its attention to the consistency of its own flame, to the quality and steadiness of its own light, rather than to whether enough ships are currently oriented toward it that is not darkness. That is the maintenance that makes the light reliable. And here is the thing about reliable light. It does not need to announce itself. The ships do not need to be convinced that the lighthouse is worth orienting toward. The consistency of the light is its own argument. The steadiness, the specificity, the fact that it has not moved and has not gone dark and has not dimmed itself to be more palatable to passing traffic. These qualities are what make it trustworthy, and trustworthy light attracts the ships that need exactly what it offers. The things that are about to shift outside you, the relationships, the opportunities, The circumstances, the version of your life that is coming, they are not being pulled toward the person you are performing as before the inward turn. They are being pulled toward the person the inward turn is producing, toward the light that is being tended right now, in the quiet, in the interior work that no one can see yet, but that is the most real thing happening in your life. You do not need to emerge yet. You do not need to make yourself visible before the inside work is finished. Stay in the turn, tend the light, trust that what needs to find you will find you, not despite your disappearance, but because of it. The outside shift is not something you produce. It is something you allow by going inward completely enough for the light to become real. If this found you in the middle of your own quiet season, write in the comments, "I'm tending the light." Let's see how many of us are in the same lighthouse right now. If Noctivus is new to you, subscribe. Every video here is built for the person who is in the middle of something they cannot yet explain. The next one goes one layer deeper into what happens after the light becomes steady. Don't leave the lighthouse before it's done.